All right, well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the ASEA Basics webinar. My name is Paul Taira, and I will be your host for this 90-minute training on everything business related regarding ASEA. Let's jump right into it, and let's talk first about your first step, what you should be doing. That is to be going to 3minutepeak.com and registering for your account. Now, the first month's free, and the good news is, for those of you joining 3 Minute Peak at this stage, I'm pretty sure it will be free your entire time. It's kind of a little bit of a preview of version 1 of our duplication platform. The new version, the ABC platform, is light years ahead of 3 Minute Peak, but I think you'll enjoy the information and start to understand the process and procedure of being able to put people into a prospect manager, follow up with them, and follow instructions on when you need to do certain actions and activities. So you're more than welcome to go there, sign up. It's free. And the first step is after you go to 3minutepeak.com and click on Get Your Site and sign up, your first step will be to go through the training, okay? So the very first training you're going to see is a welcome greeting from Tyler Norton himself, welcoming you to ASEA as a whole. And then you're going to see 3 different modules of mindset, skill set, and will set. Each one has 3 sections with videos on what you're going to learn, then a video on how to do what you're learning, as well as a orientation workbook worksheet that you can print out and reflect back on later. So I want to encourage you to go through all this. If you sat through and went through all these trainings, it would take you about 3 hours total in length, or each of the video clips are maybe about 10-15 minutes long. So again, about 3 hours total in length should get you through everything. And then after you're finished, you'll go back to that skill set section and start putting people in your recruit tab there. Okay, let's talk about the 2 best prospects that you want to go out and look for. I think one of the most common questions people ask me is, Paul, what do you attribute your success at ASEA to? And I attribute it to looking for and focusing on 2 specific types of people. If they don't really fall in this category, I don't spend a lot of time with them. Okay, I'm not out there to sell ASEA or to convince someone they need to drink ASEA to cure their health problem. I'm looking for people who really want to make a difference in their life, who want to be able to create a residual income stream and learn how to build a large network marketing organization. So the 2 types of people I'm looking for, the first type are successful people. And it doesn't have to be success in network marketing specifically, although that's always great. But what we see is that success tends to breed success. If someone was able to climb the corporate ladder and get to the top of that, there's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't be able to get to the top of what we're doing, as long as they're teachable, coachable, and willing to learn. The next type of person I look for are hungry people. So maybe someone has hit their head on the ceiling of whatever they're currently doing. You know, maybe they're working at McDonald's and they got to section or team manager or whatever, and they feel like, you know, that $50,000 a year just that's all they're ever going to be able to make, but they've got a lot more left in the gas tank. So these type of people are out there, right? How many people do you know that are not happy with what they do for a living? How many people do you know that are not happy with how much income they're earning? These are the types of people that you should be focusing on talking with. Okay, so let me talk about, before I talk about successful people and why they're so powerful, I have to talk about this concept of sponsoring down. And this is why most people fail in our industry. They look only for people that are less talented, less successful than they are people that only look up to them. That's all that they talk to. And here's the problem. On a scale of 1 to 10, let's say you're an 8. Now, this scale is based on the level of success you've achieved in your life, your communication skills, your circle of influence, and friends you hang out with. On a scale of 1 to 10, you consider yourself to be an 8. If you only talk to people that are less successful than you, for example, 7s, 6s, and 5s, what do you think happens after that? The 5s are going to talk to 4s, 3s, and 2s. And the 2s are going to talk to 1s and 0s, and ultimately you have people who are talking to people on the street corner, right? Homeless people, asking them if they have $500 to start a new business. And of course, the chances of them being successful aren't that good. So you really want to look for more successful people. As a matter of fact, if you get underneath this 5 line here, people underneath a 5 in success, you're going to find that these people, the reason why they're a 5 or less is because they look for excuses to fail rather than opportunities to succeed. And when you get a phone call from someone like that, a 4, 3, or 2, I guarantee you they're going to call to complain about something. They're going to call and say, oh, my AutoShip was a day late. Oh, my, I don't know, this didn't taste exactly the same as the other bottle tasted. They're going to have all kinds of issues. Oh, I talked to 2 people, they didn't want to do it. This doesn't work. I mean, all they're going to do is bring you like problem situations rather than say, hey, I've got 10 people to talk to tomorrow. I've got 15 people. I'm going to put you on the phone with 3, 4, or 5 people, okay, by the end of the week. I mean, that's the mentality of a successful person. That's what they're thinking, rather than like looking for an excuse to fail. I've had people literally say, I was on customer service and I was on hold for 4 minutes. This company's not going to make it. I mean, that's the mentality that you want to get away from, right? Negativity. You want to look for people who are more successful than you. And that's what we call sponsoring up. Now, we also refer to this as looking for the Oprah Winfreys out there, right? People with high levels of credibility and success, and will make things happen with or without you. So on the scale of 1 to 10, again, you're the 8. If you go out and look for someone who's a 9, guess what? If they're following your lead, they're going to go out and find someone who's a 10 and beyond. And again, if you stop working, do you think a 9 or a 10 is going to stop? No, because they don't need you to become successful, right? They're going to become successful with or without you. And this is really the foundation and fundamentals of creating a true, solid, stable residual income. Looking for people who want to make a difference and who are willing to pay the price to create their own destiny. And these are not types of people who, if they are on hold for 4 or 5 minutes, are going to use that as an excuse to quit something, right? These are people who are willing to do what it takes to get to a level so that that they can create a better life for them and their families. Okay? And you really got to ask yourself, are you that type of person as well? Or are you someone who is, when the tough gets going, that you get going somewhere else, right? Or you quit things. If you're like that, you're gonna have a challenge finding success, because if you're gonna create something that has the potential of what you can have at ASEA, whether it's thousands or tens of thousands of dollars a month, there's going to be a price to pay. So get that straight. So if the hungrier you are and the more of a price you're willing to pay, the greater the success you're going to have. Okay, so how do we identify someone who's hungry? Well, first off, you've got to be a good listener. And there's one of the great sayings is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I believe it was Brian Tracy that shared that fundamental concept with us. The late, great Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he put it like this. He said, seek first to understand and then to be understood. And another way that I've heard it stated is to be interested, not interesting. Most people try to just vomit on people everything they know, and people aren't even listening to you. So no matter how good you think you are, you're going to have a hard time getting people to engage and to want to become part of what you're doing unless you first are listening to them and they have a sense that you have a solution for them specifically. Okay? So how do we do this? What's a good way, like if we have a conversation with someone? Well, I have 4 key questions that I like to have answered when I'm talking with someone, and I suggest you write these down. Now, here's what I don't suggest you do. I don't suggest you get into interrogation mode. Okay, this is not an interview process. It's not an interrogation process. You don't want people to get the sense that you're just asking them questions so you can try to manipulate what their answers are for your own personal gain or benefit. And that should not be your agenda either. Okay, you're just looking to identify the right type of person that could have potential success here with ASEA. Okay, so the first question is you want to know about someone is what they do for a living, and if they are truly passionate and love what they do for a living. Now, we know from a Gallup study here in the United States that 70% of the people polled do not like what they do for a living. They are simply doing it because it's putting food on the table, it's paying their bills. A lot of people don't like what they do because they know they're not getting ahead in life. They're just getting by. Okay, so when you have that conversation with someone, ask them, hey, what do you do for a living, and then and then go from there. Get their feedback. Find out, hey, wow, that sounds like fun. Is that a lot of fun, or is that you get up every morning before your alarm clock? You can kind of joke around with them depending upon how well you know them. But you're going to find most of the time they're going to say, no, I mean, it's okay. Puts food on the table. Those are going to be typical answers. The next thing I like to know is if they feel that they earn enough income. Okay. Now this is hard to right out ask someone like, do you make enough money? Right? That's kind of awkward. It's kind of personal for a lot of people. So this is what I like to, the statement that I like to make, and again, I encourage you to write this down, is I would like to just say to someone, man, they must pay you a fortune to do that. So think about that. It's very simple, very non-threatening, non-intrusive statement. You can say it jokingly, right? Oh man, they must pay you a fortune to do that. Now think about it this way. Even if someone doesn't like what they're doing, that statement is applicable, right? Why would you do something you didn't like if they weren't paying you a fortune to do it, right? Paying you a lot of money. And if they did love what they do, okay, they probably love it because they're making a lot of money, right? So that statement is applicable in both situations. But what do you think the response is over 90% of the time? It's like, yeah, right. I wish I was making a fortune. I wish I can barely pay my bills, or I got to work overtime. Most people, again, do not feel that they are getting paid what they're worth or that they're earning enough income. The next thing is, do you have enough free time? So how I like to do this, okay, you may want to make notes here, is that I just like to first ask what someone does for fun. So what do you do for fun, Jim? Let him talk. Oh, man, I love to snowboard. I love to get up in the mountains. Or, man, I love to go to the beach, swim in the ocean. I love to play golf. Whatever it is, just find out what they like to do, and then just go. Oh, well, how often do you do that? Do you do that, a few times a week, or? And then again, you're just asking very valid questions. You're getting to know somebody, or getting caught up with an old friend, whatever it is. And what do you think the answer is? The majority of time in this situation. I mean, even just being able to watch kids' ball games or sporting events is a challenge for both parents nowadays. So they're, usually one of them is going to say, man, I wish I could just go to all my kids' soccer games or the music recitals or whatever. And they go, but I'm so wiped out after work. I just go home and I go to sleep, or I just don't have the time. I got to work overtime nowadays, just pay the extra bills off. We got credit card debt up to our ears, things like that, right? So just make a note if they feel they don't have enough free time to do the things they enjoy. And then finally, the fourth question here, are you happy with your retirement date? So the way I would word that is, so you're going to be able to retire soon, or, how's that working for you? So what do you think the answer is there? I think most of the time people say, yeah, right, I'll probably work until the day I die, or until I got one foot in the dirt, or I've heard it all. Most people don't even know what the date is they can retire, let alone the year, right? So this is a very common thing, and if they answer no to one or more of these questions, this is a prospect for you. And at that point, you can ask them, Jim, would you be open to other ways of generating some extra income? What do you think Jim's going to say, especially after he just told you, like, he doesn't like what he does, he doesn't make enough money, he doesn't have any free time? No, that's okay. I'm good. I'll just sit here and be miserable, right? It's kind of funny because I say to a lot of people, what your goal is to create success is to be able to get good at holding a mirror up to people. And getting them to tell you and look in the mirror and say, you know what, this is my life. And you know what, I do deserve something different, something better, or I at least want to take a look and see what's out there. Okay? And that's all you can ask for. And if you focus on this, notice there's no, I haven't at this stage even talked about ASEA. I haven't mentioned anything about molecules or anything, even what's going on here. I just had a conversation about someone else and their life, what they do. Now, at this point, he's probably going to say, well, something like, what are you talking about? Or what is it? Sometimes people, the good ones, will be like, yeah, what is it? You tell me what to do, and I'm in. Just tell me. Okay, and that really kind of depends too on your credibility, your background, your track record of success. Sometimes I know there are people even on this webinar right now that people will just follow you and do whatever you want to do. So that's fine. At least but you want to go through this as well because you want it to be about them. Remember, you want it to be about them and the why that they're going to want to. You want to have that now start to come to the front in their mind so that when it's time to make the decision, they're in. Okay? So again, the more credibility that you have yourself, the easier this will be. If you don't have credibility, it's going to be a little bit tougher. You may have to talk to a few more people, and then some of the people you initially talk to, once they start seeing you create success, when you've identified some other people, then they'll be more open to come aboard. But remember, this is just a sorting process. You're not out there to convince everyone to sign up in your business. You're simply out there to sort through as many people in as short a period of time as possible. Like we say, talk less to more people. If you get resistance, if somebody's being standoffish, or maybe you're just not good, maybe you sound like you're interviewing someone in the beginning when you're asking these questions, then it's okay. Just learn from that, move on, next, and we'll talk about some of the simple goals that you can set that you'll see if you do them consistently over time, the results they can generate. Okay, so when they say, yeah, I mean, what are you talking about? What you want to do then is let them know, first off, that you're busy right now, okay, that you've got some more calls to make, you've got some more appointments to get to, but collect their name and their email address, phone number, their contact information, and say, look, I'm going to shoot you over a 3-minute video clip, and then I'm going to follow up with you. Do you think you'd be able to watch a 3-minute video clip later on today? Maybe by 5. Try to get them to do it as quickly as possible while that feeling is still fresh in their mind. Okay? Remember, that feeling and that emotions are so much more powerful, especially when it comes to people and their power to make a decision is when they're feeling a certain way. And you've got them feeling like, hey, there might be a light at the end of the tunnel here. This guy's going to send me 3 minutes something to see if I'm qualified for this, so I need to take a look at this. So you set the specific time. Now, if they say, no, today is really bad. My kid's game's going to happen after school. I got to pick him up from school after this. Got to take him to the game, and then I've got to go make dinner. Okay, fair enough. What about tomorrow at this time? It seems like this is a good time for you. Okay, great. I'll call you tomorrow here at 10 a.m. Pacific time and follow up. Okay. And be sure you call them when you tell them you're going to, because that's professionalism too. I mean, if you don't, they're going to have a hard time taking you seriously. And we have a cliche in our industry, and that is the fortune is in the follow-up, but it's really, really true. I can't tell you how many people who have just dropped the ball on following up with someone and have had someone sign up in someone else's group, or you call that person that themselves, and you say, hey, have you heard of ASEA? You know what? I did hear of ASEA before. Some guy shared it with me, but he never called me back. I was waiting for him to call. I mean, you'd be shocked at how many times I hear that throughout the year. And again, it's always a shame, and it really is no wonder why people have a challenge creating success. So do what you say you're going to do, and you'll see that's going to be a major impact on your results. Now, monitor the progress in the back office of 3-minute peak. You'll be able to see the whole history of what goes on. I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a minute. And when you follow up with them, if they're really pumped up, they might have actually clicked on the more information button and watched the whole breakthrough opportunity video. And they may be ready to go. If so, send them the Start Right video clip. That's the little 5-minute video clip that explains the 1 case, 2 case, 4 case, 8 case packages. Again, we did not update those because the resources were turned over to focusing on the corporate ABC platform. But that'll give them a gist, and you can mention that we also have renew options if you want to have some renew and ways to get it discounted, etc. And then get them going. Now, if they're not ready at that time, then that's when you set up a 3-way call with your upline. Okay, get them involved. It's that extra third-party validation that someone may need to make them feel comfortable enough to want to sign up. Remember, it's your credibility and your credibility and relationship with the prospect, and it's your upline's knowledge and track record of success that's going to make that person, it kind of completes this triangle for someone who's a little bit hesitant, a little bit skeptical, to make them feel comfortable. So leverage that for those types of people. Again, the ones that are go-getters, they'll figure it out on their own. They'll be watching all the videos. They might have a few simple questions for you. You tell them that, boom, okay, how do I get started? They're in. Now, they're a rare breed, okay? So just realize that you have an upline. Leverage that upline. And I would encourage you to find an upline gold executive or higher. Again, someone who can say that they've been there and done that. Okay, now we don't have a Renew 28 3-minute peak process, if you will. So, but we do have a workaround. Again, because the resources had shifted into getting all those things done in the new ABC platform. So if you go into your library tab of 3-minute peak, after you log in and go to New Library Beta, click on that. You'll see you can search on terms there at the top where it says where the little search box is. If you type in Renew, it's going to return back all of the different things Renew related, like the video clips and the brochures. So when you hold your mouse pointer over one of these objects, let's say I hold it over this Renew 28-Paul video, there's a first button says Add to Send Queue. Okay, and if you clicked on that, it would add it to this little holding bin. And you can keep adding more and more objects. So like, let's say I went down to the bottom here, and over the Renew 28 brochure, I held my mouse pointer, I got the little menu, and then I clicked on Add to Send Queue there. It would add that object to this little container. And when you're ready, when you've selected everything you want, we'll click on the Show Send Queue button, and you'll see those objects. Okay, they're on the left, whatever you selected. If you don't want it, click on the little X, and it will remove it from that email. But you basically type in your person's name that's in your prospect or contact manager. Put in the subject. Here it says, from Paul Taira, the info I promised to send. And it says, what do you want to say? Dear Jim, here's the info on Renew 28. I look forward to connecting with you at 5 p.m. today to go over. So reinstate the time that you agreed that you would reconnect or follow up. And down here where it says, would you like to show your contact info to recipients? Be sure to click on yes. That way they'll see your contact info. If they get so excited and then they call you, that way you know that guy's going to be ready to go, or that person, okay, is going to be ready to go. And then click on send. All right, so here's what they see from the email perspective. There's the email. It says, from Paul Taira, the info I promised to send. Right, and in the body, dear Jim, here's the info on Renew 28. I look forward to connecting with you at 5 p.m. today to go over. Best Paul. Then it says, click here to watch video. Okay, so they click on that. Boom. There they have this nice little cinema, very well presented with the items that you selected. In this case, that Renew 28-Paul video going on first, and the brochures on the right. Your contact information is there because you selected and turned it on before you sent this. And they've got a nice presentation. Now, here's what's going on in the background. Okay, the system, 3-minute peak, is tracking everything you're doing. So you can see when you sent each object. Because you may forget. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, yeah, this is the guy that was an athlete and wanted athletic information as well. Or this guy, wanted this piece of information. Okay, and I sent him which brochure did I send him again? Well, you can go back here and track that. Not only that, when they open it, okay, when that person watches the video, notice here it says this person watched this percentage of the video. You can see that. You can also see if they downloaded any of the printed documents that you sent them, right? Downloaded this Renew 28 usage guide document. So you can actually track the activity as people go through this process. So which items you want to send regarding Renew 28? Well, what we encourage you to do, again, this is a workaround until the new platform is up and running. But the first communication, we recommend sending the little 90-second video, the Renew 28-Paul video clip, along with the Renew 28 brochure. That'll give them a little bit of a teaser, a little bit of an overview to see the power of that product. Again, guys, this is for people who are strictly Renew 28 focused. Okay, and then secondly, if you want to send them Renew 28, if they still want more info, send them the corporate video as well as a usage guide brochure, And then third, if they need more, that third video, the Renew 28 video, has a lot of additional testimonials and product experiences. Okay. Now, again, and these are folks that if you've taken them through the opportunity track, and if they're still just want to just be more product only focused, or they're not being honest with themselves and not open to an opportunity, then you're going to go in the product direction. This is how you would communicate with them strictly on Renew 20. So this is, so I look at it like whether you're talking about ASEA, our liquid supplement, or whether you're talking about Renew 28, those are secondary ways to connect to a prospect. If you start immediately just talking about the products, you're going to kind of get stuck here. And a lot of people, they may use the product, they may tell a few friends about it, but it tends to peter out and fizzle out. Okay, if you stick with opportunity in the 4 questions and getting people pumped up about changing their life and their family's life with income, that is a much greater motivator for creating that ongoing duplication and building depth in your organization. Now, there are going to be times when you can't be busy. Like, let's say you're on an airplane flight and someone's just dying to know more about the product or service that you're representing or actually marketing. Then I would encourage you to go to renewoverview.com and reactivebalance.com, and this will give you like little 90-second pitches, if you will, that can kind of pique someone's interest and give them an idea conceptually of what makes our technology different, more affordable, more effective, and fundamental to everyone on the planet. Okay, so within just a short period of time. So you can go here, get that information, and practice that for those times when you're going to kind of get pushed in the corner. So some people will say, well, this is kind of fishy. You don't even want to tell me about what the product is you're moving. Okay, in that case, at least you've got something you can pull out of your back pocket. And by the way, we do that explanation on the Thursday night business overview webinar. So if you go to thursdayhangout.com, you can register for the next business overview webinar, and that's when you would send your prospects to as well. All right, let's talk about achieving your goals. It's basically based on consistency over time. So let's just break it down very simply. If you made a simple goal of talking to 2 people per day, that would equal 60 people per month, right? Given the fact about an average of 30 days per month. That's 720 people per year. If you had a very poor conversion rate, I know people who say the wrong thing, they don't look the right way, they don't look professional and everything, 5%, 5 out of 100, they could still probably sign up just based upon the power of the information if they're utilizing the 3-minute peak, even in the incorrect way, okay, should get at least 5 out of 100. So after 1 year, you would have 36 enrollments, just talking to 2 people a day. Now, if you're using the 3-minute peak properly and sending the right videos, the opportunity-based videos, what we see is the conversion rate is around 24%. That's 1 out of 4 people about, okay? Which means you would have signed up 172 people out of those 720 that you talked to. So anywhere from 60 to 172 people is the amount of enrollments that you would have had. Now, I know people are like, well, Paul, I've been doing this business for 3 months, or I've been doing this business for 6 months, and I'm not making what I think I should be making. I just say, well, let me see your list of the people. If they tell me 3 months, I go, okay, 60 times 3. Let me see the 180 names of people that you've talked to. How many times do you think someone's pulled out a list of that? In the 14 years I've been doing this, I haven't had one. Okay. It's like people say, oh, no, I've been talking to people. I go, okay, well, show me the list. I go, the deal is, the commitment is you talk to 2 a day, you keep track of them. I go, because I know you haven't talked, if you have, why have we not done any 3-way phone calls? Why have we done 1 or 2 3-way phone calls? It's not magical. The people I know at the very top of the pay plan, I'm always on I've been, at some point in their development of their business, I've been on the phone with their prospects, like they're calling me every week. I got people still call me every week. Paul, can you do a call? Hey, can I set up a call for this time? Great. Those guys are having success. If I don't hear someone after 3 months or saying, Paul, this isn't working, I'm not making what I'm making, I'm like, that's the phone call I get from you? How about the phone call that says, Paul, I've got 4 people I need you to talk to. Paul, can we do a conference call? Paul, can we have a Google Hangout with these contacts I have in Australia? If I get that conversation, that person's going to have success. So again, think about what your activities are. Think about where your actions are. And if you're not doing the right behavior, you're not going to get the right results you're looking for. Now, if you add just one more person a day, then that means you would have talked to over 1,000 people in 1 year. That means you would have enrolled somewhere between 54 and 259 people, okay, in over the course of a year. And if you say, look, Paul, I can't work this business. I can't do this every single day. I like to take the weekends off, or I've got these long shifts, with my work. It prevents me from being able to do that. So how about if I just worked it 5 days a week? Great. Kick up your daily activity then. Let's try to talk to 5 people a day, 5 days a week. That's 1,200 people in 1 year. So at a 5% conversion rate, you'd enroll 60 people. At 24%, that's 288 people. And here's the deal, guys. Most of the people who've had, our diamonds and stuff, they haven't enrolled that many people. They haven't enrolled 288. They haven't enrolled 259. But what will happen is in the course of this, you'll find a handful of people who also focus and do what you're doing for an initial period of time. Okay, and then at that thing, so what you're going to end up doing is you'll shift your efforts to help drive their organizations deeper and help them duplicate. Now, if things start to slow down or they start to get, to a point where they're good on their own, then you start to always go back to this. Go, okay, 2 people a day, 2 people a day, 2 people a day. Whatever it is, if your activity is declining, or your results rather are declining, or your growth is starting to slow down, then go back to this. Okay, and I want to say that if you don't talk to 2 people a day, or if you haven't been talking to 2 people a day, it's okay. Start now. It's never too late to start. The key thing is you just gotta get started, and you got to do it consistently. Is the most important element. Great quote here from Albert Gray. He said, "The secret of success of every person who has ever been successful simply lies in the fact that they form the habit of doing things others don't like to do." Hey guys, I'm an introvert. A lot of you know me. I've got a computer background, and I would love nothing more than to sit up in my office and play with computer software all day, learn different software things. But I got out of my comfort zone, and this industry helped allow me to do that. I didn't want to stand in front of big groups and crowds. Of people I didn't know. And it was tough enough for me when I was in the Marine Corps. But the thing I was comfortable with is I was dealing with a very highly caliber, talented group of people who all wanted to be there. Okay, but standing in front of people who are looking at you very skeptical and very hesitant about what you're saying, it was very uncomfortable for me. Half of them, having the Marine Corps background, you felt like want to punch them in the face because they give you dirty looks, right? Like, are you trying to lie? Like, why would I want to lie to anybody? This is how it is. You're doing this. I'm doing this. I'm changing my life, and so it was very difficult, for me. But I overcame that. I overcame that uncomfortness. We all have to do that. And so somebody shared with me a saying. One of my mentors, my good friend Kevin Porter. And he said, our mantra here is, today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I can have what others don't. And so you have to be willing to do the things that people are, people are going to laugh at you. They'll make fun. They did it to me. They'll do it to you. Okay. But the reality is, use that to motivate you to create your own success. And later on, who do you think will be laughing later on? And that's all you got to keep in the back of your mind. Use it to motivate you. Use it for something, a positive behavior, rather than listening to their opinions. Because if you accept the opinions of others, you will accept their lifestyle. And do you want to have their lifestyle? Or do you want to have someone who's creating success and someone who's able to have control over their life? Now, this is one of my favorite quotes of all time. It says, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." And this was stated by someone you would not think to be known as probably the greatest basketball player to ever play the game, the great Michael Jordan. You never characterize Michael Jordan, that's the guy who missed 3,000 shots, right? That's the guy who lost the game so many times, right, for his team. No, you would never categorize that, because he just kept, even though he had these failures along the way, it drove him to success. Now, let me fast forward here just to a few months ago, the end of last year. This was the headline in Sports Illustrated. Kobe Bryant breaks NBA record for missed shots. says Kobe Bryant has missed more shots in the regular season than any other player in NBA history. All right. And there it is. It says he's passed John Havlicek's record, 13,147 points that he had missed. Now, here was the headline just 3 weeks later. Look at this. Lakers Kobe Bryant passes Michael Jordan on NBA's all-time scoring list. Okay? Literally about 3 weeks later. You can look this up yourself. So are you one of those people, you say, look, I talked to 3 people. I talked to 4 people. They didn't want to do this, and you quit? You quit? I mean, if I just told you, do this for a year. Talk to 720. Talk to over 1,000 people. Okay? It's like missing those 700 or 1,000 points, buckets worth of baskets. That's what's going to get you to become number one. All right? But you got to just have that mentality of that you're not going to quit because that's what everyone else is doing. Why would you do that? That's boring, right? Everyone else will quit after talking to. I mean, we know the average person can only sustain 3 to 5 to 7 no's or rejections before they quit something. Don't be average. If you want above average income, you can't do what everyone else is doing. Okay? All right. Well, hopefully now we're in the right mindset. So I'm going to give you some tools. And now I've got you in the right mindset so that you can go out and load your weapons with your ammunition here. First thing is the ASEAstore.com. This is where you would get your business cards, your brochures, DVDs, CDs, banners, all kinds of support resources and materials there. If you like them on Facebook, you can get 15% off your order. And if you sign up for their text emailing special list there, if you go to ASEAstore.com, they have those banners there. Excuse me, you can receive 10% off your order following that. So be sure to take advantage of that. IamASEA.com, great stories and success stories. There's almost 50 people here qualified for a Caribbean cruise, and they share their backgrounds. What this is, guys, is social proof. This shows that people from all different walks of life can create success here at ASEA. And if you get someone who says, look, I'm a school teacher, how could I be successful? You could pull up one of the school teachers and say, look, if they can do it, you can do it. And they start to feel more comfortable. Here's at ASEAImpact.com. You've got profiles of some of the people who have achieved the highest ranks at ASEA. You can go here to see what your future entails, give you a vision on what's possible. And I'll tell you, if these people can do it in the same fashion, you can do it as well. Also, be sure to connect to all these social media channels of ASEA. As you can see from Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, jot down these little handles or usernames, if you will, and be sure to go there and follow ASEA Corporate. Get all of the information and news firsthand directly from corporate at these addresses. Okay, AutoShip is your only ASEA business expense. This is the circulatory system of your business. The blood flow. It ensures you have enough product on hand for yourself so that you're a product of the product. It's going to also ensure you remain active so that you carry over volume. Now, we'll talk more and clarify what that means here in just a minute in the compensation section. It's also part of the duplication model. People will do what you do, not what you say. More importantly, or more accurately, people won't do something that you're not doing. I couldn't imagine signing up a new associate, and when they get to that AutoShip section, when they ask me, well, Paul, what AutoShip are you doing? Are you doing pouches? Are you doing Renew 28? Are you doing the bottles? What do you do? I couldn't imagine saying, well, no, I'm not on AutoShip, but you need to be, right? I mean, how much sense would that make? They'd be like, well, if you're not doing it, I'm not going to do it either, right? And this is part of what's going to keep you healthy, right? And allow you to live longer and take advantage of all the wonderful benefits of ASEA. It's your only business expense. Pays for all of your employee staff, that they're at customer service, they're at shipping, receiving, payroll, all of that, your corporate executive team. And again, if everyone's not doing this, then where's your residual income? Where's your solid calculable residual income? So again, it's part of the duplication process. Also, for all the new associates that are enrolling up until April 30th, there's a promotion that if they sign up for AutoShip at the time of enrollment and they stay on AutoShip for 3 consecutive months, they will be eligible to receive a free case of ASEA by just calling in the company, and all they'll have to do is pay for tax and shipping, but the case itself will be free to them. If you're not on AutoShip, let's correct that right away, okay? The way you do that is you go to yourteamreactive.com website, click on login in the upper right, put in your username and password, and then where it says My Business there at the top in the menu, it says click on that and say where it says Manage AutoShip, select Manage AutoShip, and boom, you'll be able to click there and where it says Create an AutoShip order, click on that, and you'll be able to set up your AutoShip. Okay, teamreactive.com, great resource site for you. We put all our conference call recordings up here. There's profiles of leadership, calendar of events. Most important thing here in the upper right where it says stay informed, click on subscribe. Okay, click on subscribe and you'll be able to stay connected. We send out a few emails during the week for reminders of conference calls, webinars like the one you're on right now, live events, corporate events, etc. So click on subscribe, and most importantly, make sure your entire team is subscribing so that we can keep them plugged in and in the loop, and that you can focus on building your business and developing your business, especially in the early stages of the game. Now, here's our phone numbers. This is the same number you dialed into. Now, if at any time you have a challenge connecting to our main number, there's our backup phone number right there, that 805 number. You dial that number, and it will ask you to put in our main phone number and the PIN, and then you'll be connected. Now, every Monday is morning. Our most important call is a 9 a.m. Leadership in Momentum call, 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is noon on the East Coast. Some of the top Diamond leadership will be on the call giving previews of what their weekly calls are going to contain, as well as a great lesson of the morning, and a lot of times we'll have testimonials and great experiences on that. Tuesday, 8 a.m. is our first TRM call for the week. Now, TRM stands for Team Reactive Momentum Call. It's also an acronym for Train, Recruit, and Manage. And 8 a.m. Pacific, which is 11 a.m. on the East Coast, is hosted by Triple Diamond Executive Terry Malmed, joined by Platinum Executive Dr. Pilar Labriola, and they do a great training call day. 6 p.m. on Tuesday night is the Medical Professionals call. Now, that has a different phone number. That's what you're seeing on screen right now. Okay, it's a different number, and you want to dial into that at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, and it'll be a doctor or some medical professional talking about the validation of ASEA in their own research, practice with their own patients, etc. On Wednesdays, 8 a.m. in the morning is our TRM call. Again, that's Pacific time, 11 on the East Coast, with Double Diamond Executive Julianne Fike. It's a great call. It helps give you tips and tricks on how to recruit new associates into your business. And at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, which is 9 on the Pacific time, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, is the Connection Hangout. And the Connection Hangout is a live Google Hangout. You can see video. I host that with my co-host David Asarno out of Atlanta, Georgia. And it's designed to profile whether it's athletes, celebrities, corporate executives, industry business professionals. We've got folks, our motto is real people, real results, and you can really get to connect and learn. And we have different themes each week, so be sure to tune into that. This last week was actually our Doctors Connection call. Tune into that one. And you can watch a rebroadcast at connectiononair.com. Once again, connectiononair.com is where you actually go to watch the broadcast, and you can watch the last week's replay there as well. Every Thursday at 8 a.m. in the morning is our final TRM call. It's hosted by Triple Diamond Executive Michael Stern, along with Platinum Executive Brent Brooks, and the M stands for Manage Day. So it'll teach you things on how to manage your business. So you want to tune into that. 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 9 on the East Coast, is the Business Opportunity Webinar. Go to thursdayhangout.com to register for that. And that's where we give a great first exposure of ASEA. We talk about the technology. We talk about the business behind it and the opportunity. So be sure to register at thursdayhangout.com. And then, of course, Saturday is the Basics Webinar, 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 1 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast. That's the webinar you are currently on right now. Make sure all your new folks go ahead and register for this. It's at basicswebinar.com. And beyond the Team Reactive mailing list, another reminder so that you get the reminders of all the different conference calls, webinars, etc. that we have going on. Okay, we're in the home stretch here. This is the compensation section. Multiple streams of income. There are 6 different ways to earn income with ASEA. I'm going to talk about these 3 mechanisms because if you follow these 3, the other portions will automatically happen. Okay, that's the Fast Start, AAA, and team commissions. So the 4 ways to get paid: Fast Start, AAA, team bonus, check match. The stability income is on the Fast Start and AAA side of the picture, getting you to at least $1,000 a month. And then the wealth income goes up to team bonus, allowing you to generate up to $40,000 a month. And then check match has unlimited earning potential. So first, let's talk about the Fast Start bonus on the stability side of the quadrant. And how it works is simply this. Every time you enroll someone as a new associate and they get started, for every enrollment case that they add to their initial enrollment order, you will receive a Fast Start bonus of $20 per case. So if they get a 1 case, it's $20, 2 case, $40, 4 case, $80, 8 case, $160. All right, pretty easy to calculate. I'm going to use the 4 case enrollment package in my example here because that's our most popular package because of the significant savings it provides. So if this was you and you enrolled someone named Ann, you would receive an $80 Fast Start bonus, okay, when Ann signs up for that $410 4-case package. Now, if Ann enrolls Jim, then Ann receives $80, but watch this, you also receive $40 because it's paid out through multiple tiers. And if Jim signs up Dan, then Jim gets $80, Ann gets $40, you get $20. So it's paid through actually 2 levels above you. Well, what if Ann was not active, meaning Ann did not have at least 100 PV within the last month? It means she wasn't on AutoShip for at least 1 case. She didn't have enough customer volume. Okay, if she was inactive, then Ann would not receive the $40. You would receive that $40, and then your first qualified sponsor in your upline, first active sponsor in your upline, would receive the $20. It just rolls up. In some companies, the company keeps these commissions as what they call breakage. So ASEA pays it all out to whoever's qualified. Now, the next commission I want to talk about is a AAA bonus. AAA bonus is designed to get you to at least $1,000 a month in passive monthly residual income. It starts out with the L1 bonus, which is $100, requires that you are on AutoShip for at least 100 PV. Now, again, this needs to be AutoShip, not just product you purchase randomly. You have to at least have 1 case, whether it's a case of bottles, pouches, or 4 tubes of Renew 28 for 100 PV on AutoShip. Now, it also requires you have 4 personally sponsored associates who are also on AutoShip with a minimum of 100 PV, and that you have a minimum of 600 AutoShip volume on your first level. Now, this AutoShip volume can include preferred customers as well as associates. Okay, so you have to have at least 4 personally sponsored associates on AutoShip, but the 600 AutoShip volume can include preferred customer AutoShips as well. So here's the amount of volume that's generated from the cases of ASEA and Renew 28. If it's an associate that's on AutoShip, that's 100 PV. If it's a preferred customer AutoShip, it's only 50 PV because remember that there's a $25 personal commission bonus that's paid out to the enroller of that preferred customer each and every month. So they have to reduce the PV. Okay, so this is you. You have your own 100 AutoShip. And in this first scenario, you go out and you personally enroll 4 associates that are each on 1 case of AutoShip of ASEA. So you've met your 100 AutoShip requirement. You also have met your 4 personally sponsored associates with 100 AutoShip requirement, but you're still going to be a little short here because you only have 400 with these 4 cases of volume. So let's say this person here was also ordering 4 tubes of Renew 28 each month on AutoShip, and so is this person over here. Well, that would make up the additional 200 worth of volume that you needed, so that would mean you now had 600 L1 volume, and you now meet that requirement. So congratulations, you're now L1 qualified and will get $100 every single month if this is being done. Let's take a look at another scenario. There you are with your 100 AutoShip volume. You have your 4 personals. Okay. You've met your 100 requirement. You've got your 4 personal requirement. Well, let's say you had 4 personal customers that were each just buying 2 tubes of Renew 28 each month. Okay, that would meet your 600 total. That would make up the additional 200 volume and meet your 600 volume requirement to get you your $100 every single month. Okay, and this final example, this is the one we recommend. Okay, you go out and you enroll 4 associates with at least 4 tubes of Renew 28, or at least one case of a full case of ASEA bottles or pouches. What we recommend is don't just enroll 4. Okay, enroll at least 6. Go for 8. Set a goal to enroll 20 people. That way, even if you just had 6 people on AutoShip, 6 associates on AutoShip, okay, you'd have met all 3 of these requirements, and it would be like nothing, right? So go out and do more. Make it your goal to do that. And if you have more that are on AutoShip, you're getting additional commissions on other parts of the compensation plan as well. Okay. Now, the L2 bonus basically requires you to help 2 people do exactly what you did. So if you help 2 people become L1 qualified so that they're getting their $100 a month, then you're going to get an additional $250 a month. Okay, so you have to be L1 qualified yourself. Okay, but as long as you help 2 of your personally enrolled become L1 qualified as well, you'll get an additional $250. That means you're getting $350 just in L1 and L2 rather bonuses alone. If you add this to the rest of the commissions on the rest of the compensation plan, you're probably earning at least $500 a month. Okay, and then finally, L3 simply requires you help 2 people get to L2, and by doing that, you'll be L3 qualified, adding another $400 of income monthly for a total of $750 per month, which should, with the other commissions in the other parts of the plan, be at least $1,000 a month to you. And I personally don't know someone who's L3 qualified who's not doing at least $2,000 a month. Okay, so this is very conservative, because if you did this structure, there's a lot of other people that are that are outside of this structure that will generate you additional income. So getting beyond $1,000 a month, okay, like Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people get in life what they want, then you'll get everything that you want. So help 2 people become L1 qualified, you're an L2. Help 2 people become L2 qualified, you're an L3. And the more L people you help become L3 thousandaires, the closer you become to becoming an ASEA millionaire. All right, let's talk about team bonuses, getting beyond the $1,000 a month. Okay, as you're building your AAA structure, every time you personally enroll someone, in this case Dan here enrolls Tina, Tina's frontline to Dan in the AAA structure. Tina's also frontline to Dan in the team structure as well. Now, the team structure is also known as a binary structure in the industry, meaning that you can only have 2 people directly beneath you in that part of the program. Okay, so when Dan sponsors Matt, he's frontline on the AAA, and he's frontline there on the team structure. The third person, though, if Dan enrolls, is Debbie. Well, since Dan already has Tina and Matt on his front line, he already has the 2, he has to put Debbie underneath Tina or Matt. And this is really neat, because now, in this case, let's say he puts Debbie underneath Tina, he can call Tina and say, look, Tina, I just put someone underneath you. Get to work, right? She's got some free activity, some free volume that she can benefit from as well, but only if Tina gets to work. She can't get paid for doing nothing, right? We wouldn't want that to happen, because that would be taking commissions away from you and other people that are actually doing something. So she uses it, Dan uses this as an incentive for Tina to get to work. Now, one of the things that we like to tell people, like if, let's say Dan called Tina, Dan would say, you know, Tina, I just put Debbie underneath you, and I hate to see you leave any money on the table, right? And if you just signed up a couple people, you'd be eligible to receive the benefits of all of the volume that Debbie and all the work that she's going to be doing as well. So let's start getting people in front of the information, right? Kind of help to light a fire underneath Tina. And that's really what you're doing. As you're putting people, let's say Teresa, we put underneath Matt, we're lighting fires at the bottom of this tree, if you will. And hopefully, if you're communicating, it will allow that you're basically waving fuel or fanning the tinder there to be able to catch fire, so that Matt, Tina, and as you keep going down, and as more and more people are getting underneath Debbie and Teresa, if they're catching fire as well, then everyone should start to move faster. Okay, so in this example, let's say Tina had 100 PV. Let's say Matt had a case of ASEA and 4 tubes of Renew, as well as Debbie, and then you've got Teresa at 100 PV. Okay, so that would be 600 total volume. 5% of that would be $30. So again, in addition to the 100 that Dan is earning every month on the AAA L1 bonus, he's getting an additional 30 just from the team commission overrides. So this should be more than enough to pay for his product each and every month, to pay for his case of ASEA. Okay, now as Dan helps a couple people, let's say he helps Tina and Teresa here become L1 qualified. Okay, all that volume is also, and all those people are also going into the plan, and that would be generating now 1,800 of volume there with his 2 L1 qualifiers. That's $90. So if you add the 350 plus the 90, you could see we're already at 440 right there. And if you add the fast start commissions and other people that are ancillary in this, should be at least $500 a month. And of course, that duplicates again. If Dan gets to the L3 level, he's going to add another $210 in team commissions, along with his $750 from the AAA bonus as well. Okay, so let's talk about team commissions, because remember, you can earn up to $10,000 a week or $40,000 a month in the team commission part of the plan. So if there you are at L3, and let's say you had 3,000 of volume on your left side of your organization one month and 2,500 on your right side, well, 10% of 2,500 is $250. And what will happen is that means that the following week that would go to zero. Okay, and then you would carry over 500 of volume there on your left because there was a discrepancy. Now you remember when I talked about being on AutoShip, keeping you active, that means that you would continue to carry forward any excess volume. If you're not active, if you haven't purchased 100 PV within the last month, if you're not on AutoShip for at least one case, etc., okay, then you won't carry over this volume. So it's really critical for you to bank volume. I know people who have thousands, tens, hundreds, even millions of dollars of carryover volume on one side of their organization because they've stayed active over a number of years. So be sure you do that. Now you're getting paid 10% of your lesser side, so 10% of $2,500 is $250. If you add that to the $750 L3 bonus, this is where we come up with $1,000. Again, up to $10,000 a week, which is $40,000 a month. How do we get to $2,000 a month or more? Well, help 2 people on your right and 2 people on your left get to L3. I'll tell you, if you do this, you're probably at way more than $2,000 a month. I mean, I couldn't imagine you not being closer to $4,000 or $5,000 a month. But again, this is a very conservative figure, and hopefully it's a very understandable and realistic goal for you now that you see the requirements. $4,000 a month. Basically, you want to go gold by helping someone get to the rank of bronze executive or higher. And when you do that, again, you got these bronzes that are helping people get to L3, and now you're at the top there getting gold revenue. This should be at least $5,000 a month in income for you, and that's why the gold is a very powerful position in our compensation plan, because for most people, if they had $5,000 a month, they could pay their monthly expenses and be able to focus on doing the business full time. They'll have at least one person in the household could shift over and focus on this more time. And I'll tell you, if you can make $5,000 a month, you can make $10,000 a month. If you can make $10,000, you make $20,000, because you now have the experience and the recipe, if you will, for success. I will tell you, there are goals that I've seen that make over $10,000 a month, but that's not really typical or normal, because usually they rank advance to like platinum or diamond or beyond. Okay, you also will, starting at the bronze executive rank, be getting check matching, which is approximately 10 to 15%, probably more accurate, on every associate in your group up to 7 generations. Okay, so a generation is defined as everyone in your group up to and including someone who achieves the rank of bronze executive or higher. That's just one generation. Imagine getting 10 to 15% of everyone's check in the organization up to and including that bronze executive. Now, when you get to silver, you get another generation deeper underneath that to the next bronze executive or higher, etc., etc. When you get to triple diamond, you'll have 7 generations. This could be tens or hundreds of thousands of people that every time someone gets a team commission portion of their check, you get a percentage of that added to your own earnings. Okay, I think we've got someone there off mute. If you came on the line since I made the announcement, if you could do a *6 on your phone, that will mute your phone line and eliminate background noise. We appreciate that. By the way, once again, if you do have a question, then be sure to *6, and you'll be able to. We'll be able to hear you. You can ask your question. If you're on the webinar software, be sure to click on the little hand raise icon on your software, and we'll be able to. I'll be able to call on you, and you can unmute your line at that time and ask your question. Okay, now achieving rank, getting to the top in the home stretch here. We're going to talk about getting to the rank of gold executive or higher, because reality is if you can get to gold, you'll by then for sure understand what it's going to take to get to platinum, diamond, and beyond. But first off, here's where volume is defined. For the basic package, the 1 case package or 4 tubes of Renew package for $160, it's going to put 30 points of volume into the plan, 30 PV. The basic plus, which is 2 cases or 8 tubes of Renew, 60. The builder's pack, which is 4 cases or 8 tubes of Renew, puts 120. And the 810 package, which is the 8 case of ASEA, puts 240. We also have a 32 tube package for Renew 28 as well. So those will all be respective amounts of volume points. Now, if you're wondering why is it lower, Paul, why if someone spends $410, only 120 gets put in the plan? Well, remember, out of that $410, somebody got a check for $80, a fast start check. Somebody else got a check for $40. The upline got a check for $20. This also includes your Getting Started kit, which is your brochure, DVD, CDs, Getting Started guide. It includes your website hosting for the entire year. You don't have a monthly fee to pay. Okay, so all that's included, and I think it's pretty, and remember, there's a free case of product. There's $110 savings in this package as well. So I think it's pretty generous for the company at the end of the day to put 120 points of volume in the team commission portion of the plan as well. Now, here's a more accurate volume conversion rate. When someone purchases 1 case of ASEA, 4 tubes of Renew 28, or 1 case of pouches of ASEA, 100 points of volume gets put in the plan. If it's a preferred customer for $120, 50 points gets put in the plan, because remember, there's a $25 personal commission bonus that's paid out to the enroller of that preferred customer each and every month. Now, a half case, which is only 2 bottles of ASEA, is $65. Only 50 points of volume gets put in the plan as well, so that will not qualify you to be active. So make sure, if you think, oh, I just need to sign up for AutoShip, that you're not selecting the half case or telling the company to put you on half case, because that will not meet your 100 personal volume requirement. And the PV required to be active up till the rank of Director 700 is 100 PV. Starting at bronze executive and all the way through triple diamond, it's only 200 PV. And most people, and we encourage most people, that when you get started, especially if you've got a significant other or spouse, they're going to need a case, you're going to need a case, or you want to have at least, get some Renew 28, do at least 200 PV right out the gate. Remember, guys, you're probably keeping at least a few $100s a month in tax deduction savings, so this should more than pay for the cost of whatever AutoShip, 100 or 200 worth, each and every month. Okay, remember, this is tax deductible business expense. So we encourage you to take advantage of that, and definitely so that you don't miss qualifying as a bronze because you did something silly like forget to add the extra case of product to your a monthly order. Okay, so the director requires that you're personally active. you've purchased your 100 PV within the last 30 days, and hopefully it's because you're on AutoShip, and you personally enroll one active associate on your left and one active associate on your right. So here you are. You personally enroll one left and one right, and they're both active. Congratulations, you're now a director. And by the way, come to convention because there's going to be an additional incentive announced there. We're probably 80-90% sure of when you just get to director. Okay, that'll be exciting if that announcement is made right there at convention. A Director 300 is someone with 300 group volume in the pay team. So there you are. You've got now 300 on the lesser side of your team structure. And congratulations, you're now a Director 300. You'll get a pin and a certificate from the company to recognize you for your achievement. And then a Director 700 requires you have 700 group volume in your pay team. So there you are, 700 group volume in the pay team. You'll get a new pin, a new certificate, and be recognized at the rank of Director 700. Now the Bronze Executive is a director with 2,000 group volume in the pay team and one Director 300 down two separate legs. Now I'll clarify what the term legs means here in just a second. But first off, more of what we know, 2,000 in the lesser side of your team structure. And then the leg is simply everyone that you personally enroll and everybody underneath them, all the way to the very bottom of the leg, would be considered to be in that leg. So the word leg is just the terminology or nomenclature for everyone that you personally enroll and everybody beneath them. So you need to have one Director 300 down two different legs. So let's say you enrolled this person here and they did not become a Director 300, but then they signed up somebody over here who did become a Director 300. You can still count that. It doesn't have to be someone that you personally enrolled. It could be someone who's anywhere down that leg. And as long as you have one other person in a different leg, then you can count that. You would have one Director 300 down two separate legs, and congratulations, that combined with the 2,000 group volume in your team structure would make you a Bronze Executive. And make you qualified to start receiving the check matches that I talked about earlier. Now, the next rank is Silver Executive, just more of the same. You can now have 3,000 group volume in the pay team and three Director 300 legs. So here you are, 3,000 in your pay team. You add that third Director 300 leg, and you're now a Silver Executive receiving two generations of check matching. And then the Gold Executive is a director with 5,000 group volume in the pay team and four Director 300 legs. So there you are, 5,000 in the pay team. You add the fourth Director 300 leg, and you are now a Gold Executive. Again, if you're qualifying at the rank of Gold each and every week, you should be at least at $5,000 a month, if not more, and get your sights set on Platinum, which typically qualifying Platinums are 5 figures a month in income. And you're on your way. You're on your way to Diamond. Okay. Now, at this point, I like to pause before I wrap up with our promotions and incentives section. Again, if anyone has any questions, you can, if you click on the little hand raise button, that would be the easiest way for me to, and the preferred way for me to call on you. And then you'll do a *6. And if not, or if you're not on the webinar, just on the conference bridge, do a *6. And that will unmute your phone line, and we'll be able to hear your question as you ask it. Okay, because I know this compensation for a lot of people sometimes gets a little tricky. Okay, let's go ahead then and let me talk first off about another one of my favorite quotes from Boyd Matheson. True character is the ability to stay focused on your goals long after the mood in which they were created has passed. And I love the analogy of using, people that are trying to get into better physical shape, physical fitness. Some people start going to the gym, right? We're in the very beginning of the year. On January 2nd, you would see the parking lot jam-packed at your local health and fitness club, right? But what happens when you're going to the gym now? A lot of these gym parking lots are empty. Okay, they're going to be empty from those people who made these New Year's resolutions and just didn't stick with it. That's just how people are, unfortunately. So the real key to success is making the commitment and doing it over time and being consistent. So like we were talking about earlier, the success component here with ASEA is 2 a day, right? 2 a day keeps the job away. Like Nadlin Lewis says, the developer of our new ABC platform. 2 a day keeps the job away, but if you want to crank up activity, you want to get there faster, make it 3, make it 5 or 10 a day, and you'll see significant changes and improvements in your results. All right. Now, events and promotions, we got great educational and fun opportunities you can take advantage of. Our peak performance program goes on throughout the year. Now, our Envision conference is everyone who gets paid at the rank of bronze executive at least one time throughout the year. And actually, they've just reduced this qualification to the rank of Director 700. So if you qualify, or you know anyone who qualifies at Director 700 at least once this year, they'll be eligible to attend the ASEA Envision event. And I'll tell you, it was probably one of the most popular events of last year out of all of the events. So would encourage you, if you do qualify, to make sure that you're there. You have until September 4th of this year to qualify to be able to attend. Get to bronze at least one time. Now, base camp is if you're paid at bronze twice or silver once, and you had until February 6th to qualify for this year's base camp, but keep going for it and hitting it, because they may have already posted the qualifications for next year or the time requirement for next year, but it will be prorated and backdated to now. So make sure you keep running for this, and it will count toward the qualification for next year's base camp. The ASEA Ascent event requires that you qualify at the rank of Platinum 3 times or Gold 6 times, and looks like I got a hand raise here from William Hawkins. Bill, if you're out there, you're going to need to do a *6 to unmute your phone line. Are you there? If you can do a *6, it'll unmute your phone line. Oh, okay. Looks like the slide wasn't changing. That might have been just an internet delay there, Bill. Okay. Okay. So basically, the Ascent, once again, Platinum 3, Gold 6. So it's like if you qualify at Gold twice, it's the equivalent of qualifying at Platinum once. And you have until July 17th of this year to make this year's Ascent event. And if you're not, don't worry, because you can qualify for next year's event as well. Okay, so keep going for it. Keep running hard. Diamond Summit. This is our granddaddy of them all. It's paid 4 times as a diamond. Will get you 2 people with airfare. If you just get paid as a diamond twice, we'll get you there, but no airfare. Okay, so shoot to go diamond as quickly as possible, and hopefully you get everything, all airfare and everything paid for. This year it's going to be at the beautiful Ritz-Carlton in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. And I'll tell you, last year was gorgeous. It was in Costa Rica and Guanacaste at the beautiful JW Marriott Resort, and the previous 4 years was in Hawaii, from the Big Island to Maui to Kauai, all 5-star resorts, and they really roll out the red carpet. You never lift a finger to pay for things. They put money on your account as well, and all the meals are covered and everything, so it is an absolutely spectacular time. Now, Cancun, we just completed the Cancun trip, and I left these slides in here just to kind of let you know this was spectacular. This was one of the very best resorts we've been to, I think, in the history of ASEA. It was all-inclusive. It was called Live Aqua. So much stuff to do, gorgeous pools, beaches, and we were blessed with some phenomenal weather. Got to take a tour out to Chichen Itza, something I've always wanted to see, and great activities around in this area. You could snorkel, you could do all kinds of different things. We just had a great time relaxing, resting, and enjoying the resort amenities. So when they announce the next promotion and incentive trip, be sure you do everything you can to get there, especially with the one that was tiered like this, to be able to attend this and to be around all the great ASEA people was phenomenal. 100 people qualified. And so that means, and they all brought somebody because you were allowed to bring a guest, and that means we had about 200 people at this event. And what a great environment to be able to be around 200 like-minded people out there changing the world with this amazing technology, product, and company of ASEA. Now, the next event you want to get to is that everyone can attend is the 5-year ASEA Velocity Convention. You can go to ASEAinslc.com to register for that. Get registered now. Take advantage. The rates will just continue to get higher and higher. The hotel rooms are filling up. Make sure you book your hotel room as soon as possible. I think we may even be out of our Marriott block now. We've got last time I checked, over 1,200 something registered already. So we're expecting to have over 2,000 people at this convention. So be sure to be there. It's our 5th year anniversary, biggest of them all. And Vertus Norton will be retiring. There's some super special announcements going to be made. And by being in Salt Lake City, you'll have the opportunity to tour the corporate offices. You'll be able to tour the production facility. So sign up for those activities as well. Again, very rare opportunity, but because we are at the corporate offices or in the hometown of corporate, you'll be able to take advantage and do that. And you'll also take advantage of the Club Vertus opportunity. So some of you who may have fell a little bit short for the Cancun trip, don't worry, because those enrollments will count toward the Club Vertus enrollments. When you log into your virtual office, you'll see where you're at, how many enrollments you have. There's a Club Vertus widget there, and they're going to be giving away $35,000 in cash on stage. Okay, for the top enrollers, the top 6 people will be able to take advantage of that. But even if you are in the top 50. You're going to have some great rewards as you see there on screen. Again, log into your virtual office, click on Club Vertus for all the specifics of all the various things you can win by simply continuing to enroll and help your associates enroll folks as well. All right, Boyd Matheson shared one of my favorite quotes of all time, or I'm sorry, Bob Mowad. You can't leave footprints in the sands of time if you're sitting on your butt. And who wants to leave butt prints in the sands of time? So thanks everyone for tuning in. Again, our goal and our mantra here at ASEA is for you to believe, first off, in the company, in the products, the technology of ASEA, and understand how much a difference that they make in this world, how many lives you can help representing ASEA, Renew 28. You belong now to a community of like-minded people who are all willing and would love nothing more than to see you achieve the highest levels of success as possible here with this amazing company and technology, and become something a little bit better each day. Every day, if you become a little bit better, if you do your 2 every day, if that's your goal, do that. But become a little bit better at explaining, at sharing, at sending videos, at your message. Become a little bit better each day, and you will become successful. And this is what we wish for each and every one of you out there. And once again, if you do have any questions, this is the last round, last opportunity. Go ahead and click on the little hand raise button. I'd be more than happy to call on you. Or if you like to just do a *6 on your phone, it will unmute your phone line, and we'll be able to hear you. If not, I'm going to encourage you to tune in first thing Monday morning on our next call, 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific, which is noon on the East Coast, to the Leadership in Momentum call for Team Reactive. If you're not aware of that, once again, go to teamreactive.com. In the upper right of the screen, click on that subscribe button, join our mailing list, and we will send you out a reminder tomorrow or early Monday morning, and you'll have all of the conference call information there. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your Saturday, rest of the weekend, and I'll see you later. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.